Okay, I'm trying to wait to see some people coming in. Give you a minute. This is Latin. You're going to be looking up the meaning of these words while I wait. Okay, I'm not going to make you wait too much longer. This is a Latin book that was recommended to me because this is my mother's language. There's a reason why my mother taught me Latin at a very young age. So, getting back to our ancestry, this is our ancestral language. We created the languages that the world used. That's why Latin was taught in schools. Uh, my mother's era, back in the, let's say, early 1900s. Yeah, even now you can find a lot of people who have Latin names. 'Cause this is the empire that was Rome. People think everything's over in Europe. No, everything is right here. Who wants to live in that cold Europe? Just think about it. So I just want to introduce you to this book, and the way it teaches is very easy because you show pictures and you go from the pictures. That's how it teaches, and it's very detailed. You can't, you know, I mean, if you have some knowledge of language, let me say it like that, you'd be very easy to learn this. It's not difficult at all. It has illustrations, and that's the best way to learn is by illustrations, by pictures. And like I said, if you have any knowledge, if you know English very well, you know parts of speech and things like that, you do very well learning this. And you'll find that learning Latin will open you up to a lot of different languages, so called Romance languages: Spanish, French, Portuguese, Romanian. And it'd be easy to learn the harder language. Uh, well, I'll say hard, just different, who use symbols like Chinese and Japanese and Arabic. Arabic really came from the Hebrew. It's changed because, see, the Hebrew was a so-called religious language. It wasn't really spoken. It was just something that they did conducted services in. Like when they speaking the Latin in the synagogues. That wasn't a common language, but some guy come along and because you don't know how to speak it if you wasn't in the clergy, because they didn't have any vowels. So you had to know the word. You couldn't guess how it sounded. So this person comes along and find a way to give these words vowels, and we still don't know if the pronunciation they're giving these words are correct or not. But you got a whole people who are speaking this language now, which wasn't created to be spoken. It's just another form of identity theft that's going on around the world. People want to be, they got a lot of wannabes out there. Anyway, I just want to introduce you to this book that I'll be studying. And if you can get a copy, it's hard to get this book now. I've had difficult getting this. So okay, that's it for now. Thank you for listening. Any questions in the chat? Okay, hello. Well, I generally don't use that greeting. If you got a what flag is that? Look like your flag is Middle Eastern. You should be saying something like Assalamu alaikum or Salam at least. I got to learn these flags because a lot of people they put their flag and I say, well, what flag is that? Well, that's a good way to learn where you're from. But anyway, thank you, Imam. Oh yeah, Imam. You know you speak Arabic. You know you speak Arabic with a name like Imam. So why don't you give me an Arabic greeting? Why you got to say hello? That's a very low vibration word. Take away the O, and what do you have? Take away the O from hello, and what do you have? Why would you greet somebody like that? Unless you're catching it all the time. Anyway, I'm going to sign out right here. I don't see any more questions or greetings. Thank you again. And keep in touch. Let me know your comments, what you think about what I say. All of my forums are not public, but you can find a public forum and put your comments. There's quite a few public forums that I've posted. Most of these default now is private, and I don't go back and change it. I think it get more circulation being a private than it does public. I don't know how that works. But anyway, you can find a way to comment and send me your ideas and thoughts, and I will find it eventually. Give me some time. Familia Romana. Romana means relates to a novel, so it's like a family novel. Where you go through of a family, you introduce the family, things like that. And that's the way the book is written. So it's very easy if you have any smarts.